Hello, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining. This is Dr. Savage. I'm going to be having a little bit of a discussion with my Generation Y. Generation Y, I have felt your pain and I'm here to share a few nuggets with you. I'm going to invite some people into the room as Facebook begins to build an audience for me. That's usually a delayed response. So as you enter the room, hey, AD Walker, thank you so much for joining. As you enter the room, if you could please share this out. There are so many students who are either preparing for school or going back to school. And I want to have a bit of a conversation with them because I resonate with this audience because as a college student, as a recent grad. As a recent grad, I had particular struggles as it related to finding employment degree by degree by degree. So I think it's going to be important for me to have this discussion. So as you share this out, say hello as you join the room. Please, if you like what is being said, please make comments in the comment box. My name is Dr. Eveangel Savage. I am your evidence-based mobile social support coach with 30 years of experience in corporate, healthcare, and academia. My goal today is to remove the glass ceiling. Remove the glass ceiling on what you are able to do once you leave college and or as you begin to build yourself over the next 4 years and prepare yourself for re-entering the real world where being an adult is being an adult. So let's talk. Let's talk, and I'm going to share this out on my groups. If you know of any college students, anyone's headed to college, anyone who on your list of people that we might need to get into the room, please share this out as I will as well. Thank you so much for your patience as I share this video with some moms and dads. If you know of moms and dads who are headed off, have students that are headed off for college, this is a great conversation. Parents are the primary influence of our children, and many students, children, youth will revert back to their parents as mentors. What we typically know is that mentors are extremely important, and 70% of students have had a mentor at one time or another, whether that mentor was a parent, a professor, a family member, or even a friend. Thank you so much for being here. In either case, having a mentor is very important. Over these next 4 years, I want you to be considering several things, and we're going to review those in just a moment. I'm just going to invite some others to the room. Thank you so much for being here. I don't count it lightly that you stopped by, and I hope that you find value in this discussion today. If you have a student that's headed off to college, or you have a family member who's headed off to college, if you have someone who's returning to college, if you have someone who's entering college, this is a great time to invite them to the platform so that we can share some of the things that I think are very important to the success of our children. Oftentimes, our children, age 18 through 29, according to the research, has gone off to school to achieve a degree or two, only to not be able to find a job when they return to the workforce. And so that's what we're wanting to talk about today. If you are out there and know someone who is preparing to go off to school, this conversation is for them. So if you are parents of a student who's about to go off to school, this is a great conversation that we must share with our students, because there is preparation that we must make as students. They must make preparation while they're in school to use all of the skills that they're gaining, all of the intellectual property that they're gaining. All of these things are critical to their success. So I will be sharing some things that I think have been very effective, even for me in higher education. These things were so relevant, and I want to begin to share these things with the students who are going off to school. So again, my name is Dr. Eveangel Savage. I am your evidence-based mobile social support coach, and I teach others how to implement research into practice so that we operate and break the glass ceilings of our ability to function in this world. So, so we create the best version of ourselves by removing those barriers. The mission of Audacity is to affirm human social value while removing those barriers of the glass ceilings associated with social norms. So let's get started. For example, hello, hello, hello. If you are there, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited. Having been a former college student, I just want to share some nuggets with you all about why it's important for them to get started very, very early. So here we are. It's July 28th, and many of us are about to send our students off to school. I have sent off three college students to colleges, and all but one were able to find a job after school. But much of their success was based on a lot of the things that we instilled in them while they were young, to develop comprehensive resumes, to track the things that they were doing in leadership, to build upon the things that they were learning. But now we are faced with college. College is a different beast. When you go to school, you have spent 4 years learning a specific industry or field of study, and you're going to want to find a job. You're really going to want to find a job, or at least that is the goal for most college students. Now, we didn't teach our children to go to school to get a great job. We taught them to go to school, get a great education, to empower and employ others. So at the forefront of our agenda was always entrepreneurship and how we could capitalize on being the best version of ourselves, whether that's in a job or whether you are being an employer. So I'm excited to share some nuggets. I'm going to be sharing with you some principal things that I think are very important. The first one is our students must mobilize early. You cannot wait. And I tell this to even adults right now that are trying to find their way to improve their life because they've been told no for so long, right? So and to alleviate the stresses of our students having to endure what we endured to grow ourselves, and the no's and the closed doors and the positions of being overqualified, then we want to make sure that they're doing some things very early. And some of those things is simply just involves mobilizing very, very early. Here's some suggestions that I have. One, develop the social behaviors that you need to have by improving your social platforms. What I know about children from age 18 through 20, or adults, young adults from age 18 through 29, is they are social media users, big time social media users. But herein lies the issue if we are not focused on how we use social media. So some of the things I'm about to share with you are very, very vital to your people discovering you once you have finished school, and how you can improve upon your platforms as you prepare to take life on as an adult. One thing you want to do is check your social media. Check it. Let your social media should mimic what you want an employer to see. It should mimic what you would like an employer to see. Because the first thing an employer is going to do is they are going to Google you, right? So who are you? What is your story? And what message do you wish to send to the employers around the world, right? So the one thing you want to do is clean up your platforms. You want to be careful about who you associate with on Facebook. You want to be careful about the things you share on social media. You want to care about the pictures and the messages that you send through pictures. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. And so it's very, very important that you begin to clean up your social media. If it's in line, that's fine. If it is not, then we must align our social media with that which what we want employers to see, correct? So develop a LinkedIn profile. Develop a LinkedIn profile. Why is that important? Because that's what they're going to go after first. If you truly are interested in any of big corporate America, Fortune 500, being an entrepreneur, being a speaker, writer, author, whatever that is, LinkedIn is going to be the source they're going to ask for first. In the meantime, clean up Facebook, clean up Instagram, clean up Twitter, right? Affiliate yourself with influential people, people who can, where you can leverage your playing field, where you are connected with individuals who you can share and empower others with, right? Remember, it's all about what will the employer or potential employer see when they come to your social media profiles. What will they see, right? So develop a LinkedIn profile. If you don't know how to do that, I have some very specific tools for that. Another thing that's really important that I did as a college student that helped me to be the go-to person for research, helped me again to be the go-to person that people are going to want, to help them to develop business with sound methodological practices, is I began to talk about those things that I was doing in school, my subject matter. As a human service researcher or social researcher, I deal with the research and study of people and society and programs and organizations and just things, just social systems around the world. How do we improve upon our lives and make the best version of ourselves? So I'm always looking at breaking down barriers. And so what I did as a student was to develop myself, use my leveraged my social media to share what I was learning and my thoughts about that, right? Because you want to be a thought leader. You want to be able to share objective based on the information that you are studying, right? So it's just as important while you're in school, if you are looking and very, very serious about the industry that you're studying, then share that data. Share that information. Share what your conversation about. What did you learn while you were in lecture hall today? What does the evidence say about that, right? What are your friends thinking about in school about that particular topic? What's happening in your space, right? What's happening in your space? We're talking about being prepared. We're talking about being prepared when you graduate to either be employed or to be an entrepreneur. Blog. Develop a blog and talk about the things, again, that you're learning. For example, I talked and connected with people about substance abuse. I talked and connected with people about criminal justice. I talked and connected with people about human services. And I talked and connected with people about education, because those are all four of my degree areas, all of which I use now collectively in my efforts to break down the glass ceilings around the world, right? So you want to begin to blog about your academic knowledge, right? I'm not saying go verbatim and write and share the information, but paraphrase. What is your thoughts about what you're learning? How take the time to look at what you're learning and synthesize that material, and talk to people who you want to listen to you, right? Share that information with them. Another thing is find yourself an internship, whether it's paid or unpaid. Internships matter, right? So you may could get a unpaid or paid internship, but you'll be in a Disney park somewhere getting paid. But is that going to be the best market for you to get the job that you want, right? So say for example you identified a small business, right? A small business. You want to be in an arena for substance abuse. There may be target organizations that affiliate themselves with that. A small business that focuses on that, so that you can get even more greater knowledge base from the employer who needs you, and you can learn the inner workings of those systems so that you can put all of this on your resume, or I like to call a curriculum vitae. You get the opportunity to speak about it. You get the opportunity to network with the people in your industry, and you get to develop your writing skills. Speaking, writing, sharing, all of that stuff is so critical in today's time. One of the things that corporate America has been saying is we do not have students who can think critically, right? So we must prepare our students to think critically. Well, demonstrate to them that you're a critical thinker by talking about the things that you're learning. The more we talk about the things that we are learning, the more we understand and are empowered by the things that we're learning. Is what you're learning correct? Do you have a different way of thinking? Can you share your different way of thinking with us so that we can be edified from that which you are learning? Thank you so much for joining, Miss Ramona. All right, and then we talked about getting a mentor. Get yourself a mentor. Mentor, you can either get a mentor, like I said, can be a professor, can be a parent, can be a friend or a family member, someone who you admire who has done it. Don't go and just get a mentor who has not achieved what it is that you're trying to achieve. Be sure that that mentor aligns with your goals. Be sure that the mentor aligns with your goals. Also, look and see what's going on in your career service office. Connect with them immediately so that you can begin to align yourself with those agencies that are most likely to be looking for you in those job fairs, right? Connect with those influential people. Go to the job fairs. Don't wait until your senior year. Go to those job fairs now. Check out those job fairs. Make those connections. You will already be in the know. Build those relationships with those individuals who are likely to be hiring and looking for individuals like yourself. When you are building those relationships and you are out here in this space sharing positive information about what your knowledge base is on the subject that you're studying, I can almost guarantee you finding a job will be a no-brainer. Finding a job will be a no-brainer. So connect with your career service offices so you know what's available in your industry. All right, and the last but not least, make sure that you are connecting with the professional associations in your field. Make sure you're connecting with the professional associations in your field because they allow you to be able to come and volunteer. You can volunteer as students. You can set up exhibits. You can learn how to set up an exhibit on a particular topic, and it's free. Most students are able to attend and be a part of professional associations for free, or at least at a student rate, right? At a student rate, you're on the inside with the professionals of that association, creating impact. Create the impact that you want to have. Create the impact by working smarter and not harder prior to getting out of school. So these things and more will keep you super focused on your hyper-responsive market, okay? This will keep you super focused on your hyper-responsive market. If we go into college with these goals and these nuggets to be able to share, shatter, we can shatter the ceilings on our not being able to find jobs in our industry because we then become the go-to. We become the thought leaders. We become the voice of the industry. So Generation Y, 18 through 29, these are some important nuggets that I need you to begin to implement almost immediately. When you set foot ground on the campus of your new space, put these things to work for you. This is Dr. Eveangel Savage. I am your evidence-based social support coach. I love what I do, love sharing with the great people of my world as a global research consultant. And I want to see the very best version of you. And so let's begin to shatter the glass ceilings on what we are able to achieve throughout life. So if you want more information about how to connect with me or a closer look at some of the things that I'm teaching, please join me over in my coaching space at I Am the Evidence Coaching. I am the Evidence Coaching. I am the Evidence Coaching. To all you parents who might catch this on the replay, please share this with your students. Please share this conversation with your students. If you have questions while you're here, please drop your comments in the box. I will be checking periodically to see if I can provide as much support to the parents of students going off to college. Please provide your comments if you are a student in the room and you have questions about going off to college. Please leave your comments in this room so that I can come back and periodically check to see if I can answer some of the questions that you might have as you go off to school and begin your new life. And I want to say congratulations to all of you. You are embarking upon something amazing. Do not take it for granted. You have 4 years, you can do it in 4. To all of the students who are entering college early,